This happened about a year ago. I took a night shift job at a local supermarket just outside Phoenix. It wasn't glamorous, but I needed the money, and the quiet nights suited me. I stocked shelves from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., usually alone or with one other worker in the back. It was peaceful until it wasn't. About 3 weeks into the job, strange things started happening. At first, it was subtle. A box would be in the wrong aisle, or a product would disappear and reappear a day later. I thought it was just forgetfulness or someone playing around. One night, while restocking cereal, I heard the sound of footsteps in aisle 7. Heavy, deliberate, too slow to be normal. I called out, thinking maybe it was a manager doing a surprise walkthrough. No answer. I turned the corner. Empty. I went back to work, brushing it off. But 5 minutes later, the sound came again, this time louder, like someone stomping. I called out again. Still no answer. Then I noticed something chilling, the security mirror at the end of the aisle. It showed a tall, shadowy figure standing motionless. Behind me. I spun around. No one. But when I turned back to the mirror, he was gone. The next night, I asked my coworker Jake if he'd ever seen anything strange. He just laughed nervously and said, "This place gets weird sometimes. Don't look at the mirrors too long." I didn't know what he meant until a few nights later. I was alone again, organizing canned goods, when all the lights flickered. Every single aisle went dark for a split second, except mine. Then I heard whispering. Low, garbled voices coming from the intercom, even though it hadn't worked in years. The voices weren't speaking English. They were saying something backwards, rhythmic, almost like chanting. The air felt heavy. I tried to leave the aisle, but my legs froze. I swear it felt like something was standing right behind me, breathing down my neck. And then I felt fingers graze my shoulder. I ran out of the store and didn't go back for 3 days. When I returned, Jake wasn't there. I asked the manager, and he looked confused. "There's no Jake who works here," he said. I checked the time cards. No record, no Jake. I'd worked side by side with this guy for weeks. I quit the next morning, and I haven't ever gone back to that supermarket. About 3 years ago, I used to manage a 24-hour supermarket in a small town near Oregon. Quiet place, surrounded by forest, barely enough business to stay open. My staff joked that the only people we ever saw after 11 p.m. were drunks or ghosts. One night, I was doing inventory in the back office around 2 a.m. when our motion sensors pinged. Aisle 14, the freezer section. I looked at the monitor. There was a person standing there, pale skin, long hair, wearing a thin hospital gown, barefoot. I thought maybe someone had wandered in from the nearby clinic. I rushed out, but when I got to the aisle, it was empty. No one. The freezer door was wide open though, and frost had already started forming on the floor. I closed it and went back to the monitor. Rewound the footage. There she was again, only this time, she didn't walk in. She just appeared. One frame she wasn't there, the next she was. Standing still, facing the camera. I called the cops. They checked the store, found nothing, said the cameras probably glitched. But the next night, it happened again. Same time, same figure, same freezer door open. I stopped checking the footage after that. I didn't want to know anymore. But then one of my night shift workers, Lena, quit without warning, left a note in the break room that simply said, "She's not cold anymore." I tried calling her, number disconnected. A few nights later, I stayed late again. Around 2:15, I heard something slam. I ran to aisle 14, and the freezer door was open again. There were wet footprints leading from it, bare feet, leading down the aisle toward the back of the store. I followed them. They stopped right in front of the employee bathroom and vanished. I opened the door. Inside on the mirror, written in condensation, were the words, "It's warmer in here." A chill went down my spine. I shut down the store the next week and swore to never go back. I heard it reopened recently under new management. But I still wonder, what happens if someone opens that freezer door one more time? This happened when I was 19 and working as a cart collector at a massive chain supermarket in New Mexico. The place was surrounded by desert, just sand, sky, and silence. I worked evenings into late night. The lot would empty out slowly after 10 p.m., and it was my job to push carts back to the front. Boring stuff, until one night I noticed something weird. One cart always came back. I'd clear the lot. Every cart pushed in, locked tight. But then, 20 minutes later, I'd find a single cart in the middle of the lot, always in the exact same spot. Row 3, space 17. It happened again, and again, every night for a week. I asked the security guy to check the cameras. He called me to the office, pale as a ghost. "You need to see this," he said. The footage showed the cart lot, empty. Then, around 2:16 a.m., one cart slowly rolled into frame from the far end of the lot. No wind, no push. It moved in a straight line and stopped in space 17. The footage had no cuts. It was real. That night, I decided to stay late and watch. At exactly 2:16 a.m., I saw it happen with my own eyes. The cart rolled out from the edge of the lot, but this time, I saw something else. A figure, barely visible in the distance, walking along the desert edge. Too tall, too thin, and its head was wrong. Like it was tilted backward or upside down. It just wasn't normal human head. It stopped just at the light's edge, didn't move, just stood and stared. I ran inside. I didn't go back to work for 2 days. When I returned, my manager asked me to grab a cart from row 3. I refused, told her everything. She laughed and said, "You too, huh?" Turns out years ago, a cart boy named Miguel was hit by a truck right in that spot, row 3, space 17. They say he was out collecting carts during a storm. Lightning knocked out the lot lights. He didn't see the truck backing out. He died instantly. Now, every night at 2:16 a.m., the cart rolls back to where he was last seen. Some people say it's a glitch. Others say Miguel never left. I just know I don't work night shifts anymore, and I never ever park in row 3.